Sodiq Yusuff, Don Shainis, a UFC debut by Don Shainis. Will this be a great introduction into the UFC by him, or will Sodiq Yusuff finish his dreams early? Let's see how this is going. How do you think this is gonna go, Shahid?
Off the bat, I think Sadiq Yusuff is going to finish Don Shainis. I had a look at a bit of Don Shainis, and he's an aggressive wrestler. He uses his wrestling aggressively, pushes forward, and he just tries to literally just get a takedown and look for the submission and smash his opponent. But he's doing that against the likes of Brian Picord, 7 wins, 7 losses. Cody Pistfa, 16 wins and 9 losses.
Yeah.
And it goes on, like the likes of Jay Ellis, 16 wins, 106 losses. These are the opponents that Don Shainis is sort of bulldozing with his sort of aggressive wrestling that you see in these sort of circuits that he's fighting on. Low-level opponents, so he's able to sort of get the better of them with his wrestling. And he's still got a few losses to the likes of like Nathan Williams, who again hasn't really got the greatest record and is a lower level fighter. So him coming into the UFC and having his debut against the likes of Sadiq Yusuff, who's got 14 fights and half of his career has actually been in the UFC. And so for him being, I think he's 29 himself, he's still quite young, got a bit of experience under his belt and solid experience considering half of his career has been in the UFC. So the likes of Andre Feely, Arnold Allen, Alex Caceres, you know, they're all really good fights for him to have under his belt.
Yeah.
Especially going into this, I don't see anywhere how Don Shainis beats Sadiq Yusuff because of the height and size difference as well. I mean, Don Shainis is a small featherweight, and I just think that Sadiq Yusuff is he might get taken down once or twice, but I think for the most part, even if it hits the ground, Sadiq Yusuff's a bit dangerous. You know, he's got some decent.
Yeah,
even though he hasn't got any submissions on his record, yeah, like he will cause threats with some submission attempts to allow himself to get up and so on and so forth. So I think he doesn't have any problems with Don Shainis at all. I think he finishes him second round. I think Don Shainis will tire himself out first round. He starts to feel the levels, the experience, starts to get hit with a few shots, fails his takedowns, and then he realizes he's in for a fight, tires. And then I reckon Sadiq Yusuff finished him off second round. And yeah, that's what I'm going with. Who do you see winning this one?
I'm definitely agreeing with you. I see Sadiq winning this. I think, and it's only because I really do like UFC debuts because they are hungry. The fight is normally exciting. So I am expecting Don Shainis to come in very hungry and very explosive. You know, so he might surprise me, although like in my head I'm cemented that Sadiq has enough experience and skill to quench that hunger that Don is going to be coming with. Do you know what I mean? Sadiq's very good. He's got some good wrestling. He's got good wrestling. He's got good defense. He's a good striker. He mixes it up. You know, I would say that his experience is gonna overcome Don, but I wouldn't count Don out. So I think he's gonna come in hungry and explosive and try and, because it is his debut, he's going to be trying show everybody what he's got. You know, he might try and finish Sadiq early as possible, but as you said, that will go with your prediction of him just tiring out, because he is going to be a very explosive, so he might tire out quickly and then Sadiq will finish him second round.
Yeah, and again, I mean, the likes of the people that I mentioned that Don Shainis is facing with those terrible records, it's easy for him to explode and find success with that.
Yeah.
And then Sadiq Yusuff is fought the likes of Andre Feely, like we know, and some of the other names I mentioned, Arnold Allen, and Alex Caceres. And so with their grappling, their threats, with their wrestling and so on and so forth, Sadiq Yusuff was able to deal with that quite well. And so I don't really see Don Shainis' grappling or wrestling posing much of a threat here. Both going with Sadiq Yusuff. Let us know who you think is going to win in the comment section below. Like, subscribe. We're breaking down all the fights on UFC's Fight Night. Mackenzie Dunn versus Yan Xiaonan.